Hi, I want to talk about Iran obsession, and before I start going there, I want to talk about this Iranian TV serial. It was called. I read the Persian title. A lot of Iranians know this series, and it was very popular for a while. They call it Daijan Napoleon, which means my uncle, the Napoleon Bonaparte. It was about this general. Actually, I didn't see any of the episodes, but I've been hearing about it from other Iranians so much. And this series was about this older general, Iranian general, that was significant at some point in his life, but he had gone kind of half crazy, like he had dementia or Alzheimer. I don't know. A lot of Iranians get Alzheimer, and so he was still living in his hell, in his head, in this wartime, and he thought himself to be someone like Napoleon, and he would on and off issue orders and move troops and acquire supplies. But then he was living with his relatives, with his grandchildren or so, and they they didn't know what to do with him because we were not living in the times of Napoleon, and all this reality that his brain projected onto their lives was very comical, and they had to kind of skirt around him to kind of carry on with their lives like kind of half normal, and it wouldn't really do any good to send him to nursing homes or stuff because he was just such a part of the family. But if does this like kind of reminds you of a United States government and the politicians it has? It was like there are such delusional people, and it is not only that they are very delusional people, also the 35%, the white minority that has political and economic clout and holds on to a lot of the wealth in this country, they are also very provincial, very narrow-minded, and live in the past. And then that's why their politicians are such demagogues, and they're doing stuff that doesn't belong to our age. It belongs to times bygone. Well, there was a joke about Kerry, and Kerry is not as bad as Trump. They were saying that he's like, when he talks, he's like you have opened up a time capsule from like 40 years ago. You're reading a script from bygone era. So, and one of their obsession is also about Iran. The other obsession is like unequivocal and unconditional and unlike this and unlike that of support for Israel. And let's ruin, like they have a list of 7-8 Muslim countries that they've been going through this list, like Syria, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan, and we're gonna like go down the list. Finally, we're gonna get to Iran somehow, someday, and I don't know if they will manage to start World War III, but I think that I want to tell you about Trump's State of the Union and the senators' reactions to him. I was watching some of the pieces of I think it was the Congress, and these people, they are like, when you look at their faces, it's like they are the cult members in the congregation. That's really a cult, and the stuff they say and the things they want to do is like you are not living in reality of today's day. They don't know that they're a very bankrupt nation, and many countries are go through many loops to simply avoid the United States, avoid to do business with them, avoid to have their diplomats there. Well, Zarif, the Iran's foreign minister, was saying that this congregation of countries in Warsaw was like a collection of people have been forced or induced or cajoled to come in and show support for the United States. And actually there isn't much of any support in the international scene for the stupid things that the U.S. government does. The latest one is that Trump came and tore up the nuclear deal, and then Iran and the Europeans got together and wrote up another one which excludes the United States, and then now the Pence and other politicians are coming around and want to destroy that too, and pressuring the European allies, and it's just a complete mess. And on top of all this crap that's going on, they do want to start new wars. Well, lately, like last month, I don't know when was it, Trump said that, hey, we don't want to stop. I think that one is still going through Senate, that they're making resolution to stop the Yemen war, or at least the support the United States gives to Saudis for Yemen war. And I think somebody said that Trump is going to veto that and go on with more wars. And even the smallest gestures or efforts that Trump has made to withdraw troops, it comes in with the tremendous resistance in home. And I don't know what will be the eventuality of this militant collection of politicians and population that endlessly engages in warfare and does not leave foreign countries alone. Well, it has been 40 years since Iranian Revolution, and this government pursues us to its limit, and wouldn't be surprised that we will be in a future where there is significant blowbacks to the United States, that hey, stop, or the warnings have been coming for all these years, but I don't know what form these blowbacks will take. I want to talk about some of the things that are very damaging to American companies and also Iranians like me that are unfortunate enough to get caught up in the middle of all this shit that's going on. I have lived here for 4 years, and all this time, all this flack and all this obnoxious behavior with companies, individuals, or even organizations, even down to the level of gyms, of just aggression that's not military but it's personal, and damages business, damages relationship with women, damages relationship and use of public facilities, damages income. It's just like the stupid institutions that have declared like the Iranians, either here or abroad, as like you know how you declare open calls to hunt animals. Then like they would say, hey, these people, they don't have really a very good standing in our judicial system. They're like second citizens, and well, as long as they haven't committed a crime themselves, you deal with them like the best you can. Hey, It's often very damaging. Well, I study a lot of law, and I have I sometimes resort to deal with very aggressive population and individuals. I want to recount some of the stuff that has happened. There is a frequent harassment at work. I often lose jobs. I've lost many jobs. There is a lot of on the bad relations that could have been different, could have been resulted in a marriage, or but the women are kind of crazy and zany because they don't know that hey, maybe tomorrow there will be a war or World War III with Iran, and so maybe I don't want to have this relationship with this person. It significantly damages my relationship, and I'm sure with other Iranians with women. Well, my mother, I was talking to her a few months ago. I said that all of the many people that have come to United States after the revolution, a lot of them have also returned, and they just dumped United States. Well, if you look at some of the press TV releases, you see that a lot of these anchor ladies and anchor men, and also the technology and the stuff they say, it kind of reminds you of the Iranians that were here, but the government or the belligerent population or politicians or judiciary gave them so much shit that they just left. I mean, that's not an immigration lie, that's an immigration truth, that there isn't any more fresh talent and fresh investments coming into United States. This place is really on its last leg. And in reality, United States is just like important European state, like Germany. Okay, it is physically separate, but their culture and their government and the stuff it does, and also its economy, is something similar to like one big European state. And because it has been engaging in all this warfare and all this animosity with many countries, it has lost a lot of grounds already with business, with the people, and it's entering into isolation. It's not really, there isn't a bright future for the United States. There is a future of capital decay and fleeing the United States. Then the other thing that it's very irritating with the American government and also other branches of the U.S. government is that they started with enforcing intellectual property, and it went beyond to other areas. I'll mention a few. Well, even inside the United States, if you commit a crime in one state, okay, then the other courts in other states, they'll have a little trouble because they don't really have jurisdiction on this state. Well, then sometimes they have to resort to federal government for diversity of citizenship. Okay, so but say somebody invented something in United States, okay, and registered it with trademarks in here, or if it's a movie or intellectual property, well, this filing is only good for this place, for United States. United States doesn't have the right to go tell China or Iran or Saudi Arabia, hey, respect our intellectual property right. Even though we are doing all this stuff, setting up wars everywhere, but you're obligated to respect our court's decisions here, which is a complete fib, and nobody really does that. just like with the old general, everybody just kind of skirts around it and say, okay, just go away. And in fact, this is one of the main roadways to technology transfer, and a lot of it does transfer, and there is nothing that the government can do. Then the other problem is that the United States goes into foreign countries like Afghanistan. I heard from Afghani, he was a relative of the late royal family, that the United States has gone in there and made prison systems. That there are like hundreds of prisons, and they apprehends people and puts them in their jail and their military tribunal in a foreign country completely. Okay, this is does this make any kind of sense, or is it in any form either locally or internationally legal or morally right to impose U.S. law on sovereign states? They have no intention of abiding by it, and it will just be a temporary form until all this warfare ends. Then the other delusional things that many U.S. politicians engage in is that even when there is effort to stop these stupid wars and stop all the money that's going there, there is all these delusional senators and politicians that come in and make a statement, say, oh my God, the world is going to end, and they stop warfare, and then there are people like Bolton that come in and start fresh ones. I mean, these people are so dysfunctional, or their stuff they do is so disgusting. There is a small chapter in Quran. It goes like this, that it describes humanity as a whole bunch of really wild horses like running everywhere. And this is the case with the American government. All their branches of their government is totally out of control. Their military is everywhere. Their security apparatus, their deep state or spying operations are going on everywhere in companies and corporations. Their judiciary is completely out of whack and enforcing laws of foreigners. Their Marines, they're going into foreign countries and grabbing people and bringing them here and prosecuting them according to a U.S. law. Their corporations are bribing foreign officials and have a presence. Who knows if they're part of the foreign government. They're totally in every sense of the word. They're like everywhere and doing everything. If the economic collapse comes in, like within a week or two, their currency collapses like to a third of its value, what will happen to all these chaos that these people are raking? Would this war come in inside here, and we'll have a civil war, warfare over the resources that have remained to divert them again to some other stupid venture? Well, there is a lot of analysts. Well, I was looking at one, his name is Casey, that we're going to be in a civil war. Well, if you look around and you see all these reasons for there being a civil war. Well, thank you for being in my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and leave a comment.